Two different cases. You have a seat. That's fine. Now, relative to the three of you, should I find you to be delinquent by reason of these charges, I can make a number of different orders. I can do nothing, could modify your custody, I can commit you to any public or private agency, I can place you on probation, a more serious form of probation, house arrest, home detention. It could include electronic monitoring. In fact, I can make any other order that I think is in your best interest or our community's best interest, including committing you to our detention center for up to 90 days under House Bill 400. Do you all understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Dean Valori. I'm the attorney for the victim and his family. You know, we're very pleased with the reaction today, and I think there's an obvious reason. It's that these young men have taken responsibility, accepted responsibility really, for their actions. And an admission in juvenile court is like a guilty plea in adult court. They've accepted the responsibility of these charges, especially particularly with respect to the victim in the ice bucket case. I know they have some other cases that we're not part of, but it's important and significant, I think, that they've accepted responsibility and are moving quickly. As I've always said, Matt, that the victims want to get closure on this and move on with the normalcy of their lives. And I think this is the first step in doing that today. He's doing all right. You know, they're still healing. He's still trying to get over this. You know, the pressures of high school and social pressures that come with that, and trying to fit in and be, you know, accepted by everybody again, and back to the normal life that he had before is challenging. He's working through it. He's got a ton of support nationally, as you've seen and followed, and we're, like I said, the family is eager to get this passed, get this behind them, and continue to move on. You know, I think that the prosecutor's statement and the thorough investigation that the Bay Village Police Department did in this case sheds light on the fact that everyone knows that this boy was autistic. Everyone in the school knew it. You know, yes, the pranks were played in a global sense by, against others, but this went beyond, as the prosecutor said, this went beyond the standard normal boys being boys prank. This crossed the line. And I think that's a significant thing that the prosecutors that the police department investigated and that the prosecutors pointed out. There's a no contact order in place imposed by the court, right? You were there, the cameras covered that. There's a no contact order imposed by the court. It's important that that be maintained. It's important that during the pendency of any criminal investigation and criminal court case that the victim has no contact with the alleged defendants or juvenile delinquents, I should say in this case. And that needs to be preserved. And yes, they're in a high school together. How do they they weren't ordered to stay 500 feet away from each other, but they were ordered to turn the other way if they approach the victim. And I think that's a very good condition to have in place during the pendency of this case. They played flag football together, they played basketball together, they hung out at the same houses together. They crossed a line when it came to this heinous act that they committed on this poor boy. There are crowdfunding sites out there for the Bay Village ice bucket incident, and people have been donating to that on a regular basis. The financial money is being collected. It's being held in a trust account for this young man, and what the family does with that, we're not sure what it is, but it's going to be something productive, something supportive, and something to help him heal and get past the atrocities that he's suffered.
Well, as I indicated in the court, he is sorry. He was actually prepared to make a statement of apology today, not just to the boy, but to the boy's family. Truthfully, I would think he might want to apologize to his parents too. These are teenage kids. This is an incredible amount of scrutiny for both the victim and all the kids charged to have you folks nationally covering this little story in Bay Village. These were all kids that hung out together over the summer. They did a lot of pranks toward each other, a lot of them. I don't think that the boys knew the diagnosis of the victim here. Nonetheless, at some point you cross the line with pranks, and I think that what happened in this situation was crossing the line, and that's why he admitted.
I think it's in the best interest of my client to do that. We're telling the truth. What you have to understand is that all these boys are very, very close friends, and they still are. And by being close friends, they'd hang out together with one another. They would get in mischief with one another, as we all have when we were young. And autism was not a factor in this case. Everyone treated each other the same. In fact, it just so happened that the autistic boy, it was plans for another boy because they were all playing tricks that same day on each other. So it's just something that happened that we like to put behind us. And the only thing I request of the community is do not rush to judgment. Was there involvement? Yes. Was there an admission? Yes. But these boys are all good kids, all of them.
I think we all have to learn more about autism. I mean, I think that's a good lesson for this case. It's a challenging issue, and you know, personally, I've been a big supporter of Autism Speaks, and I'm glad that there's coverage. It's a difficult diagnosis for any child to go through and family.